Okay, the live stream is up and running.
Well, I got 8 o'clock. Might as well call the meeting to order. Got roll call, I think everybody's present except for Richard Johnson, and we got Dave Bartlett, supervisor. Approval of minutes.
Make a motion, we approve as presented. This is Chuck Maves.
Second, Kelly McCullough.
Any discussion, any corrections? If not, all in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. Minutes pass. Public hearing, none. I don't have anything in the place request. Staff reports. Is John or Austin, whoever takes over? We can't hear you, John.
Can you guys hear me now?
There, well, kind of. There you go.
Well, okay. Can you still hear me?
Yep.
Okay. I always have technical difficulties. I'll turn the first part over to Austin here to kind of give the staff reports and kind of an update of what's been going on, and then I'll chime in at the end with what I know.
Sounds good. Good morning, everybody. Kind of a cool thing that just happened for us right before Thanksgiving break is Wisconsin Clean Cities reached out to us to put together a meeting that they would present to their shareholders last week. And so we put one together for them. Definitely not the best performance, but I think it turned out pretty well for them about just the things that we could do to with our small staff here in our facility on making a greener Wisconsin. So if anybody's interested in seeing that, that's on our Facebook page as well as the main Dunn County's Facebook page. They shared it, and it's got some pretty good traction going there for social media presence lately. Quick report of kind of the current routes and the status of how everything's going. Our scout route will end here on the Friday the 18th till late January. I've kept in contact with Darren and the team over there at Stout on the outlook for the students that have been staying on campus after break, because that was a big thing up in the air for students staying after Thanksgiving. They did a survey for all the students staying after break, and about 1,200 students stayed on campus, which is very good percent, 52% staying on campus. Help downtown Menominee, help us all out down there, and keep our buses running as well. Since Thanksgiving break, we've switched to more fuel efficient, smaller gas buses for the Stout route since it's gone virtual. We looked at the average riders on the bus at one time and made sure we'd stay under the 50% capacity on the bus. So that's worked out really well, keeping our big diesel buses back here and, start maintenance on them during break and some deep cleans on them. The Stout routes have been going steady since Thanksgiving break, averaging 50 to 80 riders during the day, which hasn't dropped more than about 30% to 40% when all the students were on campus. So people that are here are utilizing it very well. The night routes have been averaging a bit less at 10 to 20 riders. Last night we had 17. Doorstop route, that's our elderly and disabled bus, has been very well utilized this whole fall and is at about 70% of what normal ridership would be. That's great to great to see the bus staying utilized with these patrons in the times that we're in here. Many of them don't have any other options for transportation, so we're glad that that bus is getting used. Our Red Cedar route, which is also kind of the second elderly and disabled bus, and it's also the bus that covers all the lunches for the other breaks and other routes, keeping them going through the day and not those drivers breaking for lunch. So we have a gap in our routes from 11 to 1. That route is going to go down to a 4-hour shift starting December 21st through late January. Normally on breaks in the past and last summer, that was stopped entirely, but then our routes would have a dead hour during the lunchtime when riders are used to getting on the bus at 11:15 and the bus isn't there. And that's the last thing that we wanted to do to keep a consistent schedule. And with the amount of drivers we have, especially with losing the Stout and Stout PM here in a couple weeks, that gives another shift. So 3 buses are on the road during the day, which helps keep our staff up through the month and a half that we're going a little bit idle here through Stouts break and through the holidays. The bus maintenance during the break here, it's a time for us to catch up on everything. We have a 1-page 4-hour detailing checklist for each bus that drivers will be starting after the 19th here. 3 new marquees that are in the shop that we just haven't had a chance to put up yet, that myself and one of the drivers will get installed during the break. All the buses are currently ready to rock and roll and in good standing for service. And our Red Cedar route and the community route right now have our 2 oldest buses on them, and they're our best lettered up buses. We're putting as many miles on them as we can, so we have space for these newer buses coming in 2021, as well as keeping our newer, nicer buses inside as much as we can out of the salt through the winter. Other than that, I turn it over to John for anything else.
I'd just like to thank Austin, has been doing a really good job filling in here and keeping transit running smoothly. I touch base with him and Bruce. I try to touch once or twice a week. They both stepped up and kind of filled in the gap here while we are currently looking for a transit manager. HR did contact me with a list of applicants yesterday. The transit manager posting has closed, so I'm going to work with them to sit down here. We'll sift through the applicants that we do have, and we'll get some interviews scheduled, and hopefully in the next 4 to 5 weeks we have that position filled. I've been in contact with Larry Loverud from Xcel Energy. The 3-phase is scheduled to be plowed in next week. It looks like we're going to beat the weather on that. I just got an update this morning on the weather from Brent and Dustin. Have been watching the DOT's MSDS weather website there, and they said now it looks like we're not going to get any snow. It's going to miss us and go south. So we're probably going to be doing cartwheels here in the parking lot later this morning. Because I'm fine with a brown Christmas for a change. So we're due for one. So if Xcel gets that in next week, it looks like as soon as they get the transformer and switch gear put in, then it looks like MJ Electric will do the underground boring from the transformer and control cabinet to the building, and they're going to get punched through into the building. And then it looks like early to mid-January is when we're scheduled to have MJ come in and finish hanging the conduit and pulling the wire and installing the 2 bus chargers for the electric buses. So everything is on schedule there. We'll be ready as soon as Altoona cuts our electric buses loose from the testing and they arrive. We should be ready to plug them in and put them on the street. Otherwise, financials, I guess, would be my next thing that we would go on. Any questions on this month's financial report? I see smiles and head shaking no, so I'll take that as no questions. Well, our consume budget is like 641. Our consumable budget is 960. Part of that is because of the installation of the electric and the chargers. There's going to be some bills going out for that, and then we didn't get purchased the buses yet, so some of that money is still riding there. But otherwise, it looks like we're on track to finish up the year, and we should be in good shape financially. So that's all I have for our staffing reports. And again, I'd like to do a shout out to Austin and Bruce and thank them for filling in here in the interim. Thanks, Dan.
Yeah, thanks, Austin. It's been a very good report. I like the details on ridership and stuff like that too. That seems to be nice to actually hear some of those numbers actually. So,
Yeah, definitely. If anybody wants any more specifics, we have them. So definitely feel free to reach out if anybody has any other questions on that as well.
otherwise, do we have any other questions?
This is Chuck Mays, Chuck Mays, and I'm very impressed or happy with the doorstop numbers. I think that's one of the services that, to me personally, is one of the most valuable to our residents of Dunn County. So I'm glad to hear those numbers, and it's a good thing to hear. Thank you.
Yeah, we there's people calling every time that we're able to add somebody's new information. I hear Bruce talking through all their details. That's a new rider for us, and that's something I didn't see, in August and September, and it's coming back now. So every new rider is someone new we can help. So very good to see.
Otherwise, considerations for action. We got the high management staffing contract to talk about.
Yes, in September, John McLaughlin put together an RFP for our current contract with PI expires here at the end of the year. So periodically we'll submit for the RFPs, and the only submission we had again was for PI Management, our current service provider for staffing of buses and operations. Dolly, I, and Dustin sat down. We read through their proposal. Really, nothing has changed. They've done a really good job for us in the past. We feel that they would continue to do a good job for us. William, the owner of PI, the president, is submitting the new contract, and I guess I would Transit Commission's blessing to sign and enter into a new contract with PI. If that's okay.
So I need a motion to accept the contract.
I move to accept the contract from PI. This is Darren.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Brian? Any discussion? Sounds good. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. We'll have the PI management staffing contract approved. Considerations, there's none. I guess there's any other comments. Otherwise, I guess we're going to be
Mr.
done.
Chair,
Yeah, Darren.
I would like a motion to reconsider on the minutes. I was just looking at the bottom here, and it looks like the bottom of starting at G miscellaneous marketing is a repeat from the October minutes. Probably just did get deleted out. So
Good catch, Darren.
I would offer that as a correction. And then I did offer an addition in the chat to reflect our last meeting. It's just I think it's just a general announcement. It would have been under items placed. The request chair was just John Swirsky's announcement that we had a vacancy in the transit manager role, and Austin Witt was serving as the interim. And I believe I put that in the chat. That's my two items.
I would go ahead and second the motion to amend the amendments as Darren suggests.
Any other discussion on that? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, the amendment for the minutes are approved. Thanks, Darren. Anything else? Gonna be done early here.
Not a bad thing.
All right, well, nothing else. We'll adjourn the meeting. We'll wait for highway.
Thank you.
Goodbye, all. Have a good
Thank you.
holidays.
See you later,
Hey,
folks.
Austin, you still on?
Uh,
Austin, what, you still there?
Oh,
No, he was
Cut
first
off.
off, I think.
All right, I'll catch him on the way. Thank you.
Dave, Rob from International was in here yesterday. He said you guys got your truck last week.
Yes, we did Thursday.
How do you guys like it? Is it what you expected?
Yes.
Of course, it's brand new and shiny, so
Yeah,
everybody's excited about that.
Yeah, last night we had Tom Ward last night, and the patrolman says he really likes it. It's